My dear friend, I want you to sit down comfortably and listen to me as if I were an old doctor who has spent his entire life understanding human behavior and the gentle but powerful rhythms of aging. I have seen countless seniors come to me with broken hearts and tired souls, all because they gave too much of themselves to the wrong people. They started with good intentions, thinking they were being kind, noble, and selfless. But by the time they realized the truth, they had already lost their peace, health, and joy. Today, I want to talk to you about the 4 types of people you must never help in your old age if you truly wish to protect your peace and well-being. If you avoid these people, you will avoid regret and keep your heart light. First, let us talk about those who never show gratitude. These are the people who take your kindness as if it were their right. They receive your help, your time, and your money without a single genuine thank you. You might think it is just a small thing, but repeated ingratitude chips away at your spirit like water dripping on stone. Research from the University of California found that gratitude has a strong association with improved well-being and happiness. When we give to someone who shows gratitude, our brain releases dopamine, that feel-good chemical, which lifts our mood and strengthens our immune system. But when we help someone who lacks gratitude, our mental health suffers. Over time, we start feeling unappreciated, invisible, and even resentful. In old age, you need your emotional reserves for yourself. Your body is no longer as strong as it once was, and your mind deserves peace. Helping an ungrateful person only drains you and leaves you feeling empty. Then there are those who always play the victim. They blame the world for everything, and nothing is ever their fault. You know the type. They tell you about all their misfortunes, and you feel compelled to help because you have a soft heart. But remember this, studies from the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology have shown that people with a chronic victim mentality are emotionally manipulative and can negatively impact the mental health of their caregivers and supporters. They create a cycle where they remain helpless while you become the rescuer, constantly sacrificing your own needs. In old age, you must remember that your energy is precious. Once spent, it cannot be easily restored. Giving your time and resources to someone who refuses to take responsibility for their own life is like pouring water into a bottomless pit. You will keep giving, and they will keep demanding more. You will end up exhausted and regretful, wondering why your kindness never brought you closer to peace. The 3rd type of person you must avoid helping is the habitual liar. This one might surprise you. We often think that lying is just a small flaw, something to overlook. But when someone lies repeatedly, they destroy the foundation of trust. Without trust, there can be no healthy relationship. A study conducted at the University of Notre Dame revealed that individuals who reduced their daily lies reported better physical and mental health. Lies create stress, and stress is a silent killer. It raises your blood pressure, disrupts your sleep, and can even weaken your immune system. In old age, your body is already fighting its own battles, and you do not need the added burden of navigating through someone's deceit. A liar will twist your kindness into a weapon, using your generosity against you. They will invent stories to get your help, only to betray you when it suits them. Protecting yourself from liars means protecting your health and your dignity. Lastly, do not help those who see you only as a means to an end. These are people who approach you with sweet words and false smiles, but in their heart, they see you as nothing more than a stepping stone to their own goals. You might have met them among family members or so-called friends. They come to you only when they need something and disappear once they get it. You might lend them money, give them your time, or even sacrifice your dreams for them. But when you need them, they are nowhere to be found. A study published in the journal Psychology and Aging showed that seniors who experienced social exploitation had higher levels of depression and lower life satisfaction. Being used by someone strips away your sense of worth and belonging. You start questioning your own value, wondering if anyone truly cares about you as a person. In your golden years, you should be surrounded by people who love you for who you are, not for what you can give. I know you might be thinking that refusing to help these people makes you selfish or cold. But listen to me carefully. In old age, self-preservation is not selfishness. It is wisdom. You have spent decades giving to your family, your work, your community. You have earned the right to guard your energy and protect your peace. You are not a machine that can endlessly produce love and support without needing rest and reciprocation. You are a human being with feelings, dreams, and needs that deserve respect. Helping the wrong people will not make you a saint. It will make you a silent victim of your own kindness. There is a deep psychological truth here. According to Dr. Robert Emmons, a leading gratitude researcher, maintaining positive relationships in old age greatly increases life satisfaction and physical health. But these relationships must be reciprocal and genuine. When you surround yourself with people who respect you, thank you, and love you sincerely, your life takes on new meaning. You wake up feeling valued, you go to bed feeling content, and every day in between feels lighter and more joyful. On the other hand, if you keep helping those who drain you, you will carry an invisible burden that weighs you down. You might develop chronic stress, feel isolated, and even face physical health declines. Many seniors I have met tell me that they regret not setting boundaries earlier. They thought they were doing the right thing by always saying yes. They believed that unconditional giving was their duty. But as they aged, they realized that they had neglected their own happiness. Some ended up in hospitals with stress-related illnesses. Others felt deep emotional pain because the very people they helped turned their backs when they needed support the most. One patient told me, with tears in his eyes, that he gave away his retirement savings to help his ungrateful son, who later abandoned him. Another woman cared endlessly for a friend who always played the victim, only to be left alone when her own health failed. These stories are painful, but they hold powerful lessons. Now I want you to imagine your remaining years as a garden. You have only so much water, sunlight, and soil to nurture the plants. If you waste all your resources on weeds that strangle your flowers, your garden will never bloom. But if you choose carefully, watering only those plants that bring beauty and joy, your garden will thrive. Your heart is that garden. In old age, you must decide which relationships to nurture and which to let go. As you age, your capacity to regenerate emotional energy diminishes. You cannot bounce back from betrayal and ingratitude as easily as you once could. Every act of misplaced kindness steals a bit of your future joy, so protect it fiercely. Practice saying no without guilt. Understand that you are not responsible for saving everyone. You are not responsible for solving every problem or healing every broken person. Your primary responsibility is to yourself, to guard your peace and savor the moments you have left. I know this is not easy. We are taught from childhood to help, to serve, to put others first. But there is a time in life when the greatest act of kindness is to yourself. When you protect your peace, you actually become a better presence for those who truly love you. You become more joyful, more available in a healthy way, and more resilient. The right people will respect your boundaries and love you even more for them. The wrong people will fall away, and that is a blessing in disguise. In closing, my dear friend, remember these 4 types of people: the ungrateful, the perpetual victim, the habitual liar, and those who see you only as a tool. Refuse to give them your energy, your money, your time, or your emotional space. Choose your battles carefully and reserve your strength for those who deserve it. You have the right to live your remaining years with dignity, joy, and peace. You deserve mornings where you wake up without dread, afternoons where you laugh without worry, and nights where you sleep without regret. Protect your peace as you would protect a precious heirloom. Do not hand it over to people who do not value it. When you finally reach that quiet moment in life where you reflect on all you have done and all you have given, you should feel warmth in your chest, not a cold ache of betrayal. That is the true gift you can give yourself. That is the real legacy of a life well lived. Take these words with you as a shield. Carry them into your days and let them guide your choices. You have given enough to the world. Now it is time to give to yourself, and in doing so, you will find a peace deeper and richer than any you have ever known. What are the long-term health benefits of protecting your emotional peace? My dear friend, I want you to listen to me today as though we are sitting in a quiet room together, sharing a cup of tea while the sun sets slowly outside the window. I have spent many years studying the human mind and body, and in all those years, I have found one truth that shines brighter than any other. Protecting your emotional peace is not just a luxury, it is a necessity for a long and healthy life, especially as we grow older. Too often, we think of health as something measured only by blood tests, scans, or medications. We forget that the mind and heart carry a weight that deeply affects the body. The health of your emotions can be the silent guardian of your overall well-being or the hidden thief that steals your vitality little by little. Imagine carrying a heavy bag on your shoulders every day. At first, you might manage. You might even convince yourself that it is not so bad. But with time, your back starts to ache, your knees begin to weaken, and your spirit feels tired even before you rise from bed. Emotional burdens work the same way. When you hold on to anger, guilt, constant worry, or resentment, your body pays the price. Studies from Harvard Medical School have shown that chronic stress, which is often fueled by emotional unrest, raises levels of cortisol in the body. This hormone, when elevated for long periods, can weaken the immune system, increase blood pressure, and disrupt sleep patterns. Over time, this makes you more vulnerable to infections, heart disease, and even certain types of cancer. Protecting your emotional peace, therefore, is not only about feeling happy, it is about strengthening your defenses against serious illnesses. I once had a patient, a gentle woman in her 70s, who always prioritized the needs of her children and neighbors over her own. She constantly worried about keeping everyone happy, often sacrificing her own rest and quiet moments. She came to me with severe insomnia, high blood pressure, and constant fatigue. We worked together to help her set boundaries and teach her how to say no without feeling guilty. Slowly, as she reclaimed her emotional peace, her health improved. Her blood pressure dropped, she began to sleep through the night, and her energy returned. Her story is not unique. Similar results have been documented in studies published in the Journal of Psychosomatic Research, which found that people who manage their emotions well and maintain inner peace have lower levels of inflammation throughout the body. Inflammation is the root cause of many age-related diseases, including arthritis and Alzheimer's disease. By protecting your emotional peace, you protect your brain and joints, and you keep your independence longer. Another important aspect to consider is the effect of emotional peace on cognitive health. The brain is an organ that thrives on calm and clarity. When you live in a constant state of emotional turmoil, stress hormones flood your brain, damaging cells and shrinking important regions like the hippocampus, which is responsible for memory and learning. A large-scale study from the University of California showed that older adults who practiced emotional self-care, such as mindfulness, meditation, or even simple breathing exercises, had a much lower risk of developing dementia. Their minds stayed sharp, and they were better able to enjoy the simple pleasures of life, like reading a favorite book, gardening, or playing with grandchildren. Protecting emotional peace gives you the gift of mental clarity, allowing you to savor each moment instead of drowning in confusion and forgetfulness. Furthermore, emotional peace directly influences the quality of your relationships. When you carry emotional chaos inside, it spills over into your interactions with others. You might become irritable, withdraw from loved ones, or feel misunderstood and alone. Conversely, when you protect your emotional peace, you bring a sense of calm and warmth to your relationships. You become a source of comfort rather than tension. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that older adults who maintain positive emotional health tend to have stronger social networks and greater life satisfaction. These connections, in turn, create a support system that acts as a protective shield during times of physical or emotional illness. You heal faster, feel less lonely, and move through life with a sense of belonging. Some people believe that focusing on emotional peace is selfish or indulgent. I say it is one of the most selfless acts you can perform. When you take care of your emotional health, you become stronger, kinder, and more patient. You become better equipped to offer genuine support to those you love, rather than helping from a place of exhaustion or obligation. Your emotional stability becomes a lighthouse, guiding others through their own storms without losing your own balance. I often remind my patients that you cannot pour from an empty cup. By keeping your cup full, you can share your warmth and light generously and sustainably. Let me share one more story with you. A gentleman in his late 60s came to me complaining of frequent headaches, digestive issues, and a sense of persistent sadness. He had spent years arguing with his siblings over property disputes and felt betrayed by people he had trusted. I encouraged him to release those toxic ties and focus on the small daily joys he could control. He began taking long walks, reconnecting with old friends who brought him joy, and practicing forgiveness, not for them, but for his own peace. Within months, his headaches lessened, his digestion improved, and most importantly, his eyes began to sparkle again with a sense of lightness and freedom. Science backs up his experience. A study published in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine confirmed that people who practice forgiveness have lower stress levels and better overall physical health. You see, my friend, emotional peace is not an abstract idea. It is a powerful medicine that your body craves as much as good nutrition and exercise. When you protect your peace, your heart beats more steadily, your breath becomes deeper, and your mind rests more quietly. You start to feel joy in simple things again, like a warm breeze, a bird singing outside your window, or the taste of your morning tea. You begin to live in the present, rather than being haunted by the past or worrying about the future. As you grow older, you must remember that your time and energy are precious and finite. Every moment you spend in peace adds life to your years and years to your life. You deserve to spend this chapter of your life feeling light, clear, and connected to what truly matters. Protecting your emotional peace is the foundation upon which all other forms of health are built. You have given so much of yourself to others over the decades. Now it is time to give back to yourself. It is not too late to choose peace. It is never too late to choose yourself. So today I invite you to make a gentle promise to yourself. Promise to guard your heart as carefully as you would guard a fragile treasure. Promise to choose relationships and activities that nourish you rather than drain you. Promise to listen to your inner voice when it asks for rest, for quiet, or for change. In doing so, you will discover not only better health, but also a deeper sense of meaning and joy in each day you are blessed to live.